welcome back to my channel. So I just wanted to go over some tips on how you can get your Christmas cactus to bloom at home. So here I have my Christmas cactus. It has these really gorgeous pink blooms, and Christmas cacti, they originate from Brazil, and they're an epiphytic type of plant, which means that they attach themselves to trees or rocks, and that's where they grow. And yes, this is a tropical type of cacti. It's different than desert cacti. So let's get into those 5 tips on how you can get them to bloom like this for yourself at your home. So in order for your Christmas cactus to bloom, it needs to go through a dormancy period. So they need a shorter amount of light during the day. They need about 12 to 16 hours of darkness in order to start the blooming process in the fall. So in order to accomplish this, you can either move your cactus to the basement, to a closet, just a dark room. And you would want to do that if your cactus usually lives like in your main living space, because even if you have a lamp on or any type of light, that will affect the amount of light that it's getting. So it needs to be completely dark in order to help it bloom in the fall. The second thing you need to consider is this type of plant needs really cold temperatures to stimulate the bloom in the fall. So that would be anywhere between 55 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit. And that really helps if you set your thermostat to a colder temperature at night. Or you can move your plant to a colder room in the house if the main part of your home is warmer than 65 degrees Fahrenheit. The third step that you need to take is you need to cut back on the watering. So in between each watering, you want the soil to dry out completely. You don't want to be overwatering this plant. And in general, you don't want to overwater it, but keeping the soil more on the dry side will also stimulate flowering. The next thing you need to consider is potting the plant. So you don't want to be repotting your plant in the late summer, because if you're putting this plant in a larger pot, it's going to be focusing its energy on growing roots and not forming buds. So you want to just keep the plant in its usual container and not switch to a larger container in the summer. The only time you'd want to repot your plant is after it has bloomed or in the early spring, just because it does grow a lot during the summer season, so it will do better if you repot it at that time. And then lastly, another thing that can affect this plant's blooms would be lack of nutrients. So if you haven't switched the soil for like a few years, a lot of the nutrients could be depleted. So in the springtime, during its active growing season, you can either apply a balanced fertilizer or a fertilizer that is used for blooms. So apply that during the growing season, and that should also help this plant bloom in the fall. If you are interested in taking those steps, I would recommend starting the decreased light, the decreased temperature, and decreased watering. Start around September time, and that should be sufficient if you want your blooms to happen in Thanksgiving, Christmas time. They should bloom around that time if you start in September. All right guys, so if you have any questions, just leave them down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you've had any trouble with Christmas cacti, or if this has helped you in any way, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Juju Succulents if you want to see more plant-related material there. All right, I'll see you in the next video.